What if everything you've ever known, our planet, our galaxy, our entire universe, is just a tiny bubble floating in an endless cosmic sea? Sounds like science fiction, right? But hold on, what if I told you some of the world's greatest physicists actually think this might be true? That our universe could be just one of many, each with its own bizarre laws of physics, strange realities, and maybe even another you living a completely different life? Buckle up, because today, we're diving into one of the most mind-blowing ideas in science, the multiverse. And trust me, things are about to get weird. The multiverse concept. Imagine this. You're staring up at the night sky, lost in the vastness of the universe. You see thousands of stars, millions of galaxies, and an infinite stretch of darkness. But what if I told you that everything we know, our entire universe, is just one tiny bubble floating in an endless cosmic ocean? Yeah, that's right. We might not be the center of reality, we might just be one of many. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, are we in some kind of cosmic fish tank? Well, not exactly, but according to the multiverse theory, our universe isn't alone. There could be countless other universes, each with its own version of physics, time, and even life. Some might be similar to ours, while others could be completely unrecognizable. Maybe in one universe, gravity pulls upward instead of downward. Maybe in another, time flows backward. Sounds crazy, right? But that's the beauty of it, it's a real scientific possibility. Think about it this way, have you ever blown soap bubbles? Each bubble exists separately, but they all come from the same source. They float around, sometimes colliding, sometimes merging, and sometimes just existing on their own. Now replace those soap bubbles with entire universes, and that's kind of what the multiverse might be like. But here's the kicker. If we're just one bubble, what's outside of it? And can we ever reach another one? Or even wilder, what if something from another universe has already found its way into ours? Hold on to that thought because things are about to get even weirder. The bubble universe theory. Alright, let's break this down. How exactly do scientists think these bubble universes even form? It all starts with something called cosmic inflation, a fancy way of saying that right after the Big Bang, space expanded at an insane speed, stretching everything apart. Now imagine this expansion happening at different rates in different regions. Some areas slow down faster than others, and boom! Individual bubble universes form, each sealed off with its own physics and laws of nature. Picture it like popcorn in a microwave. The heat is building up, and suddenly, pop, a universe is born. Then another, and another. Some pop faster, some slower, but they all expand in their own way. This means that our universe might just be one kernel in a bag of infinite cosmic popcorn. Wild, right? But here's where it gets even more interesting. Scientists like Andre Linde believe that this process never really stopped. Meaning, new universes could still be forming right now in places we can't even see. Some could be microscopic, while others could be thousands of times larger than our own. And guess what? If this theory is true, then it's possible that some of these universes might overlap, or even interact with ours. Now let's get weird for a second. What if strange occurrences, like unexplained disappearances, time anomalies, or those gut feelings that something isn't quite right, aren't just random? What if they're glitches caused by our universe brushing up against another one? I mean, what if the Mandela effect, where people remember events differently, isn't just a memory trick, but proof that universes are shifting around us? We might never know for sure, but one thing's clear. The more we learn about our universe, the more we realize how little we actually understand. And if this bubble universe theory is correct, we may be way, way smaller than we ever imagined. Implications of our universe as a tiny bubble. Okay, so let's assume for a second that our universe is just one tiny bubble in a massive cosmic multiverse. What does that actually mean for us? Well, buckle up, because things are about to get mind-blowing. First, if multiple universes exist, then somewhere out there another version of you could be living a completely different life. Maybe in one universe you made a different decision that changed everything. Maybe you chose a different career, met a different person, or who knows? Maybe in some universe you're a billionaire living in a city that floats above the clouds. But let's take it a step further. If our universe is a bubble, could it ever collide with another one? Some scientists think so. They believe that just like soap bubbles merging, two universes could occasionally interact, leaving behind traces of their encounter. And guess what? Some cosmologists believe they've already found possible evidence of such a collision in the cosmic microwave background, the faint radiation left over from the Big Bang. Now here's the real kicker. If universes can collide, what happens to us? Would we even notice? Would physics start breaking down? Would we wake up one day and suddenly find that the laws of gravity have changed? Would history itself rewrite before our eyes? And here's another thought. What if universes don't just collide but sometimes leak into each other? Could paranormal experiences, UFO sightings, or even unexplained vanishings be the result of people slipping into another reality without realizing it? Maybe those stories of people who mysteriously disappear without a trace aren't just accidents. Maybe they've literally fallen into another universe. If this theory is right, then everything we thought we knew about existence is just scratching the surface. Because in the grand scheme of the multiverse, we're not just tiny, we're barely even a blip. Scientific perspectives and theories. Alright, enough speculation. Let's talk science. How do we actually know that the multiverse might exist? It turns out some of the biggest minds in physics, like Andre Linde, Stephen Hawking, and even Albert Einstein, have all explored ideas that could hint at multiple universes. One of the leading ideas comes from something called inflationary cosmology, the theory that after the Big Bang, space didn't just expand, it exploded outward at unimaginable speeds. But here's the twist. Some parts of space may have inflated differently than others, creating separate, isolated universes that we'll never be able to reach. Another theory comes from quantum mechanics, the weird science of tiny particles. You know how in quantum physics a particle can be in two places at once? Some scientists believe that every time we make a decision, the universe splits, creating a parallel reality where the opposite choice was made. In one universe, you took that job offer. In another, you turned it down. In one universe, Earth exists. In another, it never formed. And then there's string theory, the idea that reality is made up of tiny vibrating strings of energy. Some versions of this theory suggest that our universe could be one of many floating on a higher dimensional membrane, like sheets of paper stacked in a cosmic filing cabinet. If true, our universe might not just be a bubble, it could be part of an endless ocean of realities. But the biggest problem? We can't prove it, yet. Right now, everything we know about the multiverse comes from mathematical predictions and indirect clues. We can't exactly build a spaceship and fly to another universe, but scientists are constantly searching for evidence. Cosmic radiation, gravitational waves, even glitches in physics that might suggest we're not alone in the cosmic sea. So here's the big question. If the multiverse is real, how do we find a way to explore it? And more importantly, what if something from another universe finds us first? Observational evidence and challenges. Alright, let's get real. If the multiverse is out there, how do we prove it? I mean, it's not like we can just peek outside our universe like looking through a window. The problem? We're trapped inside our own bubble, and anything outside of it is beyond our reach. But that hasn't stopped scientists from trying to find clues. One of the biggest hopes for proving the multiverse comes from something called the cosmic microwave background, basically, the oldest light in the universe. Scientists have been scanning this ancient radiation for strange patterns, like unexplained cold spots or distortions, that might suggest a collision with another universe. And guess what? Some astronomers believe they've already found one, a mysterious cold spot in the CMB that shouldn't be there. Could this be a scar left behind by another universe brushing against ours? Then, there's the idea of gravitational waves, ripples in space-time caused by massive cosmic events. Some researchers think that if universes are colliding, they might leave behind detectable gravitational waves that we could measure. The problem? The signals we're picking up are so faint that it's like trying to hear a whisper in the middle of a hurricane. And here's where things get even crazier. Some scientists have suggested that black holes might be key to unlocking the multiverse mystery. You know how nothing can escape a black hole? Well, what if black holes aren't just dead ends, but gateways? Some theories suggest that when something falls into a black hole, it could be spat out into another universe entirely. Could it be that black holes are cosmic portals leading to different versions of reality? The truth is, we're still at the very beginning of understanding the multiverse. The biggest challenge? We may never be able to directly observe it. It's like trying to prove there are other fish in the ocean while being stuck inside a single fishbowl. But just because we can't see it yet, doesn't mean it's not there. Science has proven time and time again that the universe is way weirder than we ever imagined. So who's to say we won't find a way to peek beyond our cosmic bubble? Philosophical and existential considerations. Okay, so let's say the multiverse is real. What does that mean for us? I mean, think about it. Our entire existence, our history, everything we know, could just be a tiny fraction of something infinitely bigger. That's both exciting and terrifying. For one, it totally flips our idea of reality. We've always thought of the universe as everything. But what if it's not? What if we're just one page in an endless book? What if right now another version of you is out there, living a completely different life in a universe where things played out just slightly differently? Maybe in that universe you chose a different career. Maybe you met someone else. Maybe you never even existed at all. And here's another big question. If the multiverse exists, does that mean our choices don't really matter? I mean, if every possible outcome is playing out somewhere, does free will even exist? Or are we just passengers riding different versions of reality? Then there's the biggest question of all. If there are countless universes, does that mean life is common? Are there civilizations out there that have already discovered how to jump between realities? And if so, have they found a way into ours? But maybe the real mind bender is this. If the multiverse exists, could we be part of someone else's simulation? What if our universe is just a test, an experiment running inside a more advanced reality? And what happens when they decide to pull the plug? At the end of the day, the multiverse is more than just a scientific idea. It's a question of what reality itself is. And the more we learn about it, the more it seems like the possibilities are truly endless. So, what do you think? Are we just one tiny bubble floating in an infinite multiverse? Or are we something even stranger? One thing's for sure, the universe or universes is far weirder than we ever imagined. So what do you think? Are we just one tiny bubble in an endless multiverse? Or is reality even stranger than we can imagine? One thing's for sure, the universe is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more mind-blowing science and tech explorations. Hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay curious. Have you ever wondered if our universe is the only one? What if everything we know, our galaxy, our reality, is just a tiny drop in an infinite ocean of universes? Scientists believe that beyond what we can see, there could be countless other realities, each with different laws of physics, different histories, maybe even different versions of you. Sounds like science fiction, right? But what if it's real? Could there be another universe where you made a different choice today? Or one where Earth never even existed? Let's dive into the mind-blowing theory of the multiverse and uncover the truth. The multiverse concept. Ever stared up at the night sky and wondered, is this all there is? What if I told you that our universe might not be the only one, that beyond what we can see, beyond the billions of galaxies, there could be countless other universes, each with its own version of reality? Sounds like science fiction, right? But some of the greatest scientific minds believe it could be real. The multiverse theory suggests that our universe is just one in an endless sea of universes, each following its own rules, its own timeline. Imagine this, somewhere out there, another version of you might be making a completely different decision right now. Maybe in another universe the dinosaurs never went extinct, or gravity is weaker, or time flows backward. Scientists didn't just wake up one day and decide, hey, let's make up extra universes. No, this idea comes from real scientific puzzles. Take quantum mechanics, for example, the mysterious world of subatomic particles. Sometimes a particle can exist in two places at once until we measure it. This bizarre behavior has led some scientists to think that, in some way, multiple realities exist simultaneously. And then there's cosmic inflation, the idea that our universe expanded at an unimaginable speed right after the Big Bang. Some physicists believe this rapid expansion didn't just create one universe, it created many. Picture soap bubbles forming in a tub, each bubble its own universe, floating alongside countless others. So the question remains, are we alone in our cosmic existence? Or are we just a tiny piece of something far, far bigger? Scientific observations. Alright, the multiverse sounds wild, like something out of a sci-fi movie. But is there actual science behind it? Could we ever prove that these parallel universes exist? Surprisingly, some clues might already be out there. One of the biggest hints comes from the cosmic microwave background, the faint radiation left over from the Big Bang. Scientists have discovered strange anomalies in this radiation, including a giant cold spot in space. Some researchers believe this could be a bruise, a sign that our universe once collided with another universe. Think of two soap bubbles bumping into each other. What if our universe had a cosmic fender bender with another? And then there's quantum physics, a realm so weird that even Einstein was baffled by it. Particles at the smallest level don't behave the way we expect. Sometimes they exist in two places at once, sometimes they blink in and out of existence. Some physicists believe this could mean our universe is just one layer of a much bigger multiverse, where particles are slipping between different realities. Even black holes could be hiding secrets about other universes. Some theories suggest that when something falls into a black hole, it doesn't just get crushed, it could be transported to another universe. What if every black hole in our universe is actually a portal to another reality? And here's something crazy. Google's quantum computer may have provided indirect proof of parallel universes. In 2019, Google announced that their quantum processor solved a problem 3 million times faster than any supercomputer. Some scientists believe this isn't just speed. It could be that the quantum computer is tapping into parallel realities to perform calculations. So, is the multiverse just an idea? Or are the signs already around us? Philosophical and theological implications. Let's step away from science for a second and dive into something even deeper: the philosophical and theological impact of the multiverse. Because if the multiverse is real, it doesn't just change physics, it changes everything we believe about life, fate, and even our very identity. Think about this. If infinite universes exist, that means there are infinite versions of you. Maybe in another universe, you're a world-famous musician. Maybe in another, you never learned how to read. Maybe there's a universe where everything is exactly the same, except you decided to eat cereal this morning instead of toast. This raises huge questions. Are you really unique? If infinite versions of you exist, what makes this version special? And if every possible choice has already been made in another universe, do we truly have free will? And then there's the fine-tuning problem. Why does our universe seem perfectly designed for life? The odds of everything aligning just right, gravity, atoms, chemistry, are astronomically small. If there's only one universe, that's a crazy coincidence. But if there are infinite universes, then of course one of them would turn out just right for life. Ours. But what about religion? Some see the multiverse as a way to explain creation without a divine being, arguing that we exist simply because, in an infinite number of universes, one had to produce intelligent life. Others believe the multiverse actually supports the idea of a creator, that if a higher power can make one universe, why not infinite ones? And here's a mind-bender. If a multiverse exists, could there be a universe where a different god exists? Or a universe where you're the one worshipped? The multiverse isn't just a scientific theory, it's a concept that challenges everything we believe about existence itself. Challenges and criticisms. The multiverse sounds epic, right? Infinite possibilities, alternate versions of ourselves, and universes colliding like cosmic marbles. But hold on, not everyone is convinced. In fact, some scientists think the multiverse theory is nothing more than a wild guess wrapped in cool physics jargon. The biggest problem? No solid proof. Right now, we have zero direct evidence that other universes exist. We can't see them, we can't touch them, and we definitely can't visit them. Science thrives on experiments and observations, but how do you test something that might exist outside our reality? If the multiverse can't be proven or disproven, is it even science? Or just philosophy dressed up in equations? Then there's the Occam's razor problem. A principle in science that says, the simplest explanation is usually the right one. Some argue that instead of inventing infinite universes to explain cosmic mysteries, we should focus on understanding this one. Do we really need a multiverse to explain quantum weirdness or the fine-tuning of physics? Or are we just using it as a cosmic shortcut? And let's talk about the math problem. Some multiverse theories come from string theory and quantum mechanics, but here's the kicker. These ideas aren't fully proven either. If we're building one unproven theory on top of another, are we really discovering something real? Or are we just stacking theories like a house of cards? Even Einstein had his doubts. He once said, God does not play dice with the universe. If he were alive today, he might ask, does God really roll an infinite number of dice to create infinite universes? So is the multiverse an incredible breakthrough waiting to be proven, or just science fiction with a PhD? The ongoing quest. So, is our universe just one of many? Right now, we don't have a definite answer. But here's what we do know. Whether or not the multiverse exists, it's changing the way we think about reality. Every discovery in physics brings us closer to unraveling the biggest mysteries of existence. From the strange behaviors of quantum particles, to the unexplained cold spots in the cosmic microwave background, the multiverse theory offers a bold, mind-expanding way to connect the dots. And even if it turns out to be wrong, the journey itself is pushing science into uncharted territories. Think about this. Just a few centuries ago, people thought Earth was the center of the universe. Then we realized we're just a planet orbiting a star, inside a galaxy, in an unimaginably vast cosmos. Could it be that we're about to take another leap, realizing that even our entire universe is just a tiny drop in an infinite ocean? And here's the wildest part. If the multiverse is real, we may never know for sure. Some physicists believe that even if other universes exist, we're forever trapped in our own cosmic bubble, cut off from the rest. If that's true, then the multiverse might remain the greatest mystery we'll never solve. But who knows? Maybe one day, a breakthrough in quantum physics or a strange new discovery will change everything. Maybe, just maybe, we'll finally get a glimpse beyond our universe and into the infinite unknown. The multiverse. Science fiction or the next great cosmic discovery. As we push the boundaries of physics, one thing is clear. The universe is far stranger than we ever imagined. What do you think? Could parallel universes really exist, or is it all just theory? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this mind-bending journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more futuristic explorations. Until next time, keep questioning the universe. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, are we really alone? For decades, the idea of extraterrestrial life has fascinated millions. But what if NASA, the world's most renowned space agency, has hidden files that could change everything? What if they know something we don't? From declassified documents to secretive investigations, NASA has been quietly studying unidentified aerial phenomena, and some of their findings are more mysterious than you can imagine. But what exactly are they hiding? Stay tuned, because we're about to dive deep into NASA's secret files on aliens. Could they hold the key to answering humanity's biggest question? Declassified documents and reports. Ever wondered what NASA knows about UFOs? Well, you're not the only one. Over the years, NASA has gradually revealed many declassified documents concerning unidentified aerial phenomena, providing us with a glimpse into the agency's secretive investigations. But what's really hidden behind those files? Let's dig in. Some of the most notable documents come from Project Blue Book, a highly classified program that NASA inherited, aimed at investigating UFO sightings from 1952 to 1969. While the official stance from NASA back then was that most UFOs could be explained by natural phenomena or military tests, the records contain many instances that remain unresolved. For example, one of the most intriguing reports involves a massive UFO sighting in 1965 near Michigan, where multiple eyewitnesses reported seeing strange lights in the sky that could not be identified. Despite extensive investigations, the military never fully explained the event. The files, which were stored under heavy secrecy, have now been made public, leaving many people wondering if there's more to the story. Even today, people scrutinize these documents, speculating about what NASA might be hiding. With the world's top scientists studying these records, it's easy to imagine that some pieces of the puzzle remain undiscovered. What if the truth about extraterrestrial life has been quietly tucked away in a drawer, only to be revealed when the time is right? After all, there are still mysteries within these declassified records that have yet to be resolved. As public interest grows and more documents are made available through the National Archives, one question lingers in the air. What does NASA really know? And are we getting the full picture? Could these old reports be clues to a bigger hidden truth? It's enough to make anyone wonder if NASA is holding back on something bigger than we ever expected. Independent study on UAPs. In 2022, NASA took a huge step forward by launching an independent study to analyze unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs. This wasn't your typical investigation. This was an effort to examine UAPs from a purely scientific perspective. The study was led by renowned astrophysicist David Spergel, a man with decades of experience in the field and a team of top researchers, all tasked with uncovering the truth behind these strange occurrences. Their mission? To create a clearer understanding of UAPs using scientifically grounded methods. They weren't just trying to find out what these phenomena were. They aimed to determine how to gather better data in the future, and to advance the scientific community's ability to study these anomalies. After all, UAP sightings have been reported across the globe for decades, and many of them continue to defy conventional explanation. The team's final report was released in September 2023, and despite the excitement surrounding it, it didn't reveal any direct evidence of extraterrestrial life. However, the report did outline the challenges scientists face when investigating such phenomena. The biggest obstacle? There's just not enough data available to make conclusive statements. But don't be fooled, this isn't the end of the story. While the report might not have provided the smoking gun many were hoping for, it highlighted the need for further investigation. The study stressed that much more needs to be done in terms of data collection, specifically through advanced technological means like satellites, and a more transparent approach to handling UAP encounters. This could be the first step toward an ongoing investigation that could ultimately change our understanding of what's out there in the cosmos. So the question remains, did NASA find anything hidden in the stars? Maybe not yet, but this study marks the beginning of a long and winding road to uncovering the truth about UAPs. Is the truth out there? Only time and further studies will tell. Public access to UAP data. NASA has often been at the forefront of technological innovation, pushing the boundaries of human understanding. But when it comes to the mysterious world of unidentified aerial phenomena, their approach might surprise you. For years, there has been a growing public demand for transparency on this subject, and NASA has answered the call in a way that many other organizations haven't. They've opened the vault, making previously classified UAP-related data available to the public. This isn't just about transparency, it's about empowering ordinary people, scientists, and researchers to dive into the unknown too. You might think that this is just a token gesture, but NASA's commitment to releasing data goes beyond a few documents here and there. They've created a comprehensive platform that allows anyone interested to access UFO reports, data logs, and analytical findings. This move breaks down barriers and levels the playing field. No longer do the biggest mysteries of the skies belong solely to the government or private entities. Now the average person with the curiosity and drive can explore these phenomena firsthand. In fact, some of the most exciting discoveries about UAPs have been made by independent researchers who comb through NASA's publicly available data, challenging assumptions and providing new perspectives. Yet, this transparency doesn't mean NASA is sharing every secret. While they've made much of their data accessible, many still believe the most exciting findings are hidden deeper in classified archives. If NASA's willing to release this much, what could they be holding back? This move sparks more questions than answers, and it leaves you wondering, is there more to the story than they're letting us see? While the release of this information shows that NASA has nothing to hide, it also leaves plenty of room for speculation and excitement about what's still out there, waiting to be discovered. Creation of the Director of UAP Research. In a move that signaled NASA's growing commitment to the study of unidentified aerial phenomena, 2023 marked the official creation of the Director of Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Research position. This role was designed to centralize NASA's efforts in studying UAPs, ensuring that research would be systematic, consistent, and fully coordinated. It's a significant step, especially considering how fragmented UAP investigations have been in the past, often involving various military and intelligence agencies without a clear scientific approach. The person appointed to this position has a monumental task ahead to oversee all NASA investigations into UAPs and ensure that the latest findings are shared in a way that can be analyzed scientifically. This person is tasked with building a framework that enables future research teams to collaborate with other governmental and private entities while maintaining the highest standards of transparency and credibility. It's clear that NASA is now taking UAPs seriously, and this position serves as a key part of that commitment. While some skeptics might view this as a PR move, it signals that the agency is preparing for a long-term, scientific approach to studying these mysterious phenomena. But what does this mean for the future? Could this director lead to groundbreaking discoveries? Some experts believe that the role is an essential stepping stone toward unraveling some of the most perplexing questions of modern science. Could this be the first step in learning more about what we're seeing in the sky? And could we one day learn the truth about what's behind it all? The appointment of the Director of UAP Research is one of many indicators that NASA's approach to UAPs has evolved, and it may be the beginning of a new era in space and atmospheric studies. As this director digs deeper into UAPs, one thing is clear: the future of UAP research has just gotten a lot more interesting. Collaboration with other agencies. When it comes to uncovering the truth about unidentified aerial phenomena, NASA isn't going it alone. In fact, Collaboration is one of the key components of their strategy to get to the bottom of these mysterious occurrences. Over the years, NASA has formed partnerships with various governmental and non-governmental organizations to study UAPs, sharing data, resources, and expertise. This cooperation extends beyond traditional boundaries, allowing NASA to tap into a vast pool of knowledge, technology, and insight. By pooling these resources, the agency hopes to gain a more comprehensive understanding of the UAP phenomenon and what it means for humanity. One of the most important aspects of this collaboration is the sharing of data. In recent years, NASA has made it clear that they are open to working with military agencies, intelligence services, and even private sector researchers. By combining data from multiple sources, NASA can build a clearer picture of the UAP landscape, ensuring that all available information is put to good use. This multidisciplinary approach allows them to explore UAPs from various angles, including atmospheric, technological, and even psychological perspectives. But what's in it for NASA's partners? Well, for other agencies and organizations, the opportunity to work with NASA on UAP research is a significant boost. Their involvement gives them access to NASA's cutting-edge technology, research teams, and expertise. Together, these collaborations allow for a more thorough examination of the data, increasing the likelihood of making breakthrough discoveries. As the mystery surrounding UAPs deepens, the collaboration between NASA and its partners only strengthens, bringing more eyes and minds to the task at hand. Could these joint efforts ultimately lead to a better understanding of the phenomenon? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: NASA is making sure no stone is left unturned in the search for answers. Public engagement and education. NASA is no stranger to public outreach, and when it comes to the enigmatic world of unidentified aerial phenomena, the agency is fully committed to keeping the public informed. They have made it a priority to engage with people directly, not just through formal reports, but also by creating accessible educational content and fostering public discussions. Whether it's through media briefings, webinars, or even social media updates, NASA makes sure that its findings and research are available to the public in real time. This level of transparency not only boosts trust, but also invites the public to participate in the research process. One of the ways NASA does this is by holding open forums, where they encourage people to ask questions and share their thoughts on UAPs. These forums help demystify the topic, making it more accessible to anyone curious about the subject. The agency also produces educational programs aimed at explaining UAP phenomena in simple terms, breaking down complex data and theories into digestible pieces for everyone, from students to adults. It's an initiative to not just inform, but inspire future generations of scientists, researchers, and curious minds to get involved in the search for answers. But the engagement doesn't stop there. NASA is also actively creating platforms where the public can examine UAP data themselves. By giving people the opportunity to access this information, the agency hopes to spark independent investigation, potentially leading to new discoveries and insights that otherwise might have been missed. This democratization of information transforms the search for answers into a collective effort, one that includes not only top-tier scientists, but also anyone with the drive to contribute. It's an exciting time for the study of UAPs, as the lines between scientific discovery and public curiosity continue to blur. As the search for answers continues, NASA's commitment to public engagement ensures that we're all part of the journey. The truth, after all, might just be closer than we think. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into NASA's secret files on aliens. What do you think? Are we on the verge of discovering something monumental, or is it all just speculation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more fascinating explorations into the unknown. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and stay curious about the future.